Hi, my name is Moise and I'm going to make the presentation about 5 major functions of management and 3 management styles. Welcome to this presentation. So about the outline of this presentation, I'll talk about the definition of management. I'll also talk about the 5 major functions of management, which are planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. Thereafter, I will also examine the 3 management styles, which are directing, delegating, and discussing. So we can ask ourselves first, what is management? So management is the act of engaging people's organization and its resources with the target of accomplishing its desired goals and objectives. So according to courses.learning.com, management is the act of engaging people who are working in an organization and their resources in order to work together towards accomplishing the desired goals or the stated goals and objectives. So the first function of management is planning. So planning is the process of thinking about the activities required to achieve the desired goals. It is also a process of predicting how the future should look like. So the way of predicting, putting into consideration how the future should look like, this is how planning may be defined. So a task that can be associated with planning are to establish the goals, to identify the resources, to establish goal-related tasks, to prioritize tasks and goals, to create assignments and tasks, establish evaluation methods, and then evaluate alternative courses of action. So those are some tasks that are directly connected to, associated with the planning. The second function of management is organizing. So organizing refers to the management function that involves the allocation of human resources and developing the structure of an organization in order to accomplish the company's goal. So this is the way of allocating the human resources and the structure by which an organization can work with in order to achieve the goals. So a task which is associated with organizing are distribute authority, determine the structure of control, organizational height or chart, staff structure, and create departments. So those are some of the tasks which are directly associated with organizing. The next function of management is staffing. So staffing is the management function acquired to training, acquiring, appraising, and compensating employees. So in addition to this, organization staff must respond to any change in an effective manner in order to remain competitive. So some of the tasks associated with staffing are recruiting employees, maintaining policies of the company and human resources records, administering compensation and company programs, and then handling employee concerns. Leading is the next, before the last, which is leading refers to the combination of strategies and the sources of influence someone can use in order to inspire others for the accomplishment of a given task. So here understand that leading is simply to inspire other workers in order to accomplish a given task. So some of the tasks which are associated with leading include representing positively the organization internally and externally, create a context for others to give their best, act as an ethical business leader to make sure the company's future is safe. So these are some of the tasks which are associated with leading. The last function, major function, is controlling. So controlling refers to the activity of supervising any task performed in a company to ensure that it is on standard. Is the way of supervising all the tasks performed in a given organization to make sure they are directly connected to the standard set by the organization. So sometimes controlling may involve making decisions when also is necessary. And there are some tasks that are connected or associated with the controlling, which include establishing standards, measuring performance against these standards, correcting deviations from standard and plans. So after the 5 major functions of management, there are also the management styles, and the first one is directing. So directing the management style, which involves to give directions by manager to employees. So in this style, the manager tells the employees what to do, how to do it, and when it needs to be done. So this management style has some strengths and weaknesses. So on the side of strength, like directing promotes styles through listening and following directions. On the side of weaknesses, directing doesn't focus on the person, but rather focuses on getting the tasks done. That's the target. The target is the tasks done instead of focusing on the person who is completing that task. An example of the scenario is that in your grant and proposal writing company, you received an order from your manager that need to complete a grant form from your customers and have its business proposal by later this week. Another management style is delegating. Delegating is the management style by which a manager assigns tasks that employees will accomplish either individually or in groups. So the strength of delegating is that delegating promotes learning through empowerment, communication, and coaching. So while it empower and communicate and coach, on the side of weaknesses, there is ineffective control by the manager and the lack of acquired skills and willingness by delegate. A scenario which is associated with this management style is Sam is the manager of X and Y company, and Lucy and Fred are under his management. Sam tells Lucy that she's going to make the survey about how people like the new offered products because she is an expert in research. He also tells Fred to make advertisement of the new products since he has a master's degree in business communication with a honor in advertisement. So their work is due by later this Wednesday 7. The last management style is discussing. So discussing is the management style by which the manager encourages critical thinking and a live discussion by asking employees many questions about the problems, opportunity, or challenge that need to be solved. So it has also both strengths and weaknesses. On the side of strength, discussing towards a logical conclusion. So as the part of the strength, like discussing encourages discussion, like conducting discussion in order to get a logical conclusion. There are also to get a common understanding while discussing. On the side of weaknesses, time consumption and discussion without conclusion. And this also may lead to misunderstanding between employees. A scenario is that Work for Change is a company which produces construction materials. Soon it has put on market new quality of cement, but people didn't like it at all. Today, Oscar, the owner of the company, has organized a live discussion within the employees in order to solve this issue. They need to come up with a possible and feasible solution from this discussion. If not, the company will fall in a big loss. So this is the scenario. And the next of the slides are the references of where I have got some of the information. Thank you very much for following this presentation.